Praise the Lord. I received the Spirit and spoke in tongues when I was 8 years old, and I'm trying to walk in the Lord best I can. I think we all have days, good days and bad days, but I can really praise the Lord that I am still here, and that, you know, when things get hard, it's good to rely on the Lord for that. But just recently I did start school, and I always have testimonies when it comes to starting school. But yesterday I had a really rough day because public transit is not fun at all. And I have to catch 2 trains to get to school. So I have to drive all the way to Tequila during a lot of traffic, park at the Sounder train, get on the Sounder train, and then take that all the way into Seattle, and then get off the Sounder train, walk by all these drug users who are on fentanyl, which is I have to follow somebody who I feel like is got a good head on their shoulders. I walk behind them to my next train, which is interesting. And then I get on the light rail and catch it into UW. So it's just a long process. I've timed it, and it's 2 hours both ways, but 2 hours or more coming home, because again, there's just a lot of people in traffic coming home, especially. Well, yesterday was really, really rough, and I called Josh crying because where I was supposed to park, they didn't have any parking, and I got there, and my lab was going to start, and I was like, oh no, and so they didn't have any parking, so I had to drive all the way to SeaTac. I had to go park at the airport at the very top parking garage, then I had to catch the light rail from SeaTac all the way into school, because it was it's a lab day, so it's just my schedule's all funky. Well, that was all fine. That got worked out. But coming home, and when I got in my car, and I think most of you know, I'm an okay driver, but I don't really enjoy driving on the freeway. It's not my favorite thing, especially not in Seattle. I don't really like it. And so when I left the airport, I was this close from getting into a really, really, really bad car accident. And I can't remember if it was the 405. I think I was going off of the 405 or onto I can't remember what I was doing. But I didn't see in front of me that there was this huge semi truck that was in front of me, and there were 3 lanes. The far right lane had signs that it was merging into the next lane, because that lane was going to end, if that makes sense. So now there should have been 2 lanes, but since the semi truck in front of me was so big, I didn't see that there was extra construction ahead of it. And so the semi truck, and so as we were driving in these 2 lanes, there was a big concrete bridge next to me, so I couldn't move over. There was just this long stretch of concrete next to me. And then there was the semi truck coming into my lane, and I had nowhere to go. I was right in the middle between this long truck, and it was coming in. I don't think it saw me. I don't know what was going on. And so I immediately started praying, because I thought I was gonna get squished between the semi and the concrete barrier. And so I ended up seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, and there was quite a distance for me to pass a semi safely without me getting rammed into the side. And so I literally, no joke, I put my pedal, put the pedal to the metal, and I had it on the very on the floor, and I zoomed out of there, and I passed this semi. I looked to the right of me just as I was about to make it to the opening, and I was my semi and the semi and hitting my mirror was that far away. I was so close to getting squished by the semi truck, and I was so stressed out. I called Josh crying, I was having a panic attack while I was driving the rest of the way home on the freeway. So I can just really praise the Lord that he kept me safe, because usually in those situations, I panic, and I just knew I just needed to get out of there, because there's no way else, nothing else I could do. So that was a huge blessing. Another really quick one is that having to commute, my school schedule has me commuting 4 days a week. That's a long commute each day, 2 hours each way. So it's 4 hours or more total of commuting, not including the hours I spend at school, which is a lot of brain work. I'm exhausted. Every day I come home and I'm so tired. And so I had some prayer about it. I talked to Sister Kathy Crawford about it, and we had some prayer together before. And so I asked my professors, I was like, is there any way that I can work remote on Fridays? So I don't have school on Thursdays. Can I work remote on Fridays too? I have a 3-year-old. It'll be really good just to stay home and get my stuff done from home. Is that possible? Both of my professors gave me the okay, and so I only need to commute Monday through Wednesday. And so that's just been a huge blessing as well, because now I don't have to deal with all the weirdos and all the traffic and all that. So praise the Lord as much.